Hello everybody, welcome back to a new clarinet lesson. Today, what I want to talk about is a crucial aspect of clarinet playing, the eye register. The eye register is something that many players find challenging, but fear not. By the end of this video, you will have all the tools you need to master these notes. The first thing we need to understand is what differentiates the lower register of the clarinet from the higher register. The lower register is usually referred as the register of Chalumeau. This is because in the first years of the clarinet, around the 17th century, the instrument was quite different from what we have now. It didn't have all the keys we can find on the clarinet and could only play on the lower register of the instrument. During the centuries, the technological advancements made it possible to create a more refined instrument and thus unlocked the higher register of the clarinet, also called the register of Clarino. What usually characterizes this register is that the notes tend to be sharper and at the same time they require more attention and technique from the player. The first thing we need to pay attention to is the embouchure. When we play on the higher register, or the register of Clarino, it's important that your jaw and your lips are not tense. What we need to focus is the use of the diaphragm while playing. When we are playing on the lower notes, usually we can feel the diaphragm vibrating with the lower frequencies. What happens when playing on the higher register is that the flow of air and the tension in the diaphragm tends to feel more concentrated on the upper area of the chest. This can also mean that focusing our attention, we can feel our throat vibrating at the same frequency of the note we are playing. So for example, what I did here is called bending of the note. To bend the note, what you need to do is to lower the tension you feel in the diaphragm and in your throat, thinking like something like melting the note along with your body. This movement makes it more clear of the importance of controlling your throat and your diaphragm, as well as your lips and your jaw. The best way to achieve a consistent sound on the higher register of the clarinet is to practice the long tones. To practice the long tones, you just have to choose one note from the clarinet and sustain it until you run out of air. Something like this. While playing the long tones, focus your attention on the stream of air coming from your throat, the position of your shoulders, and the position of your jaw. You need to feel the tension dissolving from the jaw, and the sensation in the throat is that it needs to open up. It's a lot like singing. When we sing a high note, our reflex is to close our throat and go in a falsetto. But when we are playing, we are not using our throat. The instrument is the substitute for that. So this means that we need to open our throat, like if we were playing a lower note. The sensation we must search for is like if we are opening space in our mouth, in our throat, to let the note come out. We need to pay attention, not to bite our embouchure and the reed, and not to squeeze our throat, because in that way we are just stopping the air from flowing. Let me show you what I mean by that. Now I will play the same note as before, E, if I remember correctly, and first I will play it with a sore throat, closed lips, tense jaw, and tense shoulders. And then I will play it in the relaxed position, focusing my attention on the relaxed jaw, the relaxed lips, and creating space in my throat and in my mouth to let the note flow. If this is something similar to what you sound when you are trying to play the high register, what you need to do is just, as I said before, relax your throat, relax your lips, let the air flow. Another tip I can give you is try to visualize the note you are going to play and also sing the note before playing it. By singing the note, even at the lower octave, you will relax your throat considerably. And this will greatly help you achieve a good clarinet sound. I don't have the best of voices, but my point stands. So now we'll play. Another thing you need to do when playing the long tones on the I register is to aim for a consistent sound, meaning that the intonation of the note mustn't change. If you bite the mouthpiece, the pitch of the note will increase until you reach an harmonic, or what we call a squeak, something like this. And if you relax too much your jaw, the pitch of the note will decrease, and you find yourself playing a flat note from the one you started from, something like this. Moving your jaw and letting the note become a flat is a good exercise, but when you're just starting studying on the long tones on the I register, it is best just to aim for a consistent intonation in your note. Another exercise I suggest you to practice at home is to play a simple melody or a scale that goes on the I register and playing it slowly, focusing on the changes that you feel in your throat. Because the higher we will go, the more your throat will need to open to sing. And so this is a good way to understand better the anatomy of playing the instrument and not just the technical aspects. Something like this, C major. The higher you go, the more you will feel the note here in this part of your throat. The sensation is similar to having a little ball stuck at the beginning of your throat. You have to let your throat slide upward so that the intonation of the note is not compromised and so that you avoid to squeak on the clarinet. So, there you have it. This is all for our brief lesson of today. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope that you found it helpful. If you have any questions or you want me to explain to you a particular argument of the clarinet technique, just write a comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and visit our site pianismo.school to find out about our programs and our lessons. For today is all. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!